What is Generation Jones? Who am I? And why do I always talk about Generation Jones? Generation Jones is kind of a forgotten generation because they're younger than the more traditional boomers. So that means when boomers were young adults, Generation Jones were children and teenagers. Generation Jones was born roughly between 1955 to 1964. Many of the experiences traditional boomers had, Generation Jones was a little bit too young to remember. For example, Generation Jones was around when the Vietnam War was occurring, but they were children. Baby boomers, on the other hand, were drafted to go to the Vietnam War. Another example of a key distinction between traditional boomers and Generation Jones is the fact that when traditional boomers were children, it was a higher possibility their mom was home to greet them when they got home from school. Generation Jones, on the other hand, it was a 50-50 chance their mom was home to greet them because Generation Jones was starting the latchkey kid phenomenon. That means when they got home from school, they were responsible for changing their clothes, fixing themselves a snack, doing whatever chores they were required to do, and completing their homework until their parents got home from school. Now, speaking of the latchkey kid phenomenon, that became more prevalent during Generation X. I am Generation X. I am also Dr. Shalonda Jones. I am a communication scholar and I research cultural communication. I've written a couple of books that includes information about different generations. Before I wrote my first book that included generational information, I had no idea Generation Jones existed. I thought the latchkey kid phenomenon, feral child experience was exclusive to Gen X. So many of the experiences Gen X have started with Generation Jones. So when I see comments on my post that say, as Gen X, we had this too. Yes, absolutely we did. It became more prevalent when we were children, but it actually started with Generation Jones, and most people are unaware it started with Generation Jones. That leads me to why I talk about Generation Jones so much, especially since I am Gen X. Well, I think Generation Jones deserves their due recognition. I think it's important for us to learn about their experiences. There are people in my comments who say, well, Generation Jones had younger siblings and they were Gen X, so you should know. I didn't have an older sibling. I am the oldest, so I didn't know, and that's why I enjoy sharing this information. So more people